I learned from Tony Robbins, for example. He said that in Date with Destiny, one of his seminars, he says there are 6 different relationships on this planet. You know, there's a relationship full with love and passion, filled with love and passion, right? The second one is a lot of passion but less love. The third one is a lot of love but less passion. Number 4 is the one who's creating their, who is preparing their escape in the relationship. Number 5, looking for a relationship. And number 6 is the one that says a relationship, thank you, been there, done that. 6 different relationships. But if you are having a relationship filled with love and passion in your life, and you surround yourself with a person that is preparing their escape in the relationship, that is a dangerous situation because you might start asking yourself questions and preparing your escape in your relationship because you are influenced by that person.
Welcome to Allow Yourself podcast. Today we have an amazing and honorable guest, René Deceuninck. I don't know if I pronounced correctly the last name,
Perfect.
but I'm there. But before we start talking in our conversation, I want to remind you that this is a place where we let go of labels and allow ourselves to flow. And no matter if you agree or you don't agree, just take what you like, throw away what you don't like. The main thing is to allow ourselves to listen, because when we listen, we grow. So today's guest is René Deceuninck, international speaker, trainer, and author with over 25 years of experience empowering leaders worldwide. He shares stages with Brian Tracy, Jerry Robbins, and Jack Cranfield, and hosted preview sessions for Tony Robbins' UPW event. He's the author of The Ultimate Guide to Body Language and co-author of Unstoppable Courage. René helps people communicate with confidence and lead with impact. So let's welcome René Deceuninck to the show. Deceuninck to the show. Hi, René. Welcome. Your last name is hard for me to pronounce, but here we go.
You're doing perfect.
Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you. Appreciate
Is
having me.
is for Allow Yourself really a honor to have you here, and and for me a real privilege. And for the audience to think, to listen. When you listen the expression of allow yourself, what comes to mind?
Allow yourself to just be you. In terms of body language, we always say that your body never lies. So if you're you and you can be you, you will never have to fake it, right? Because what happens sometimes is people say you're invited for Christmas dinner, but you can't make it because, and then you come up with an excuse, but your body will never lie. And then those people will have that gut feeling like, I don't know if it's right what he says, but I got something like, then the year after, they have a chat about last year's Christmas and then they forgot about the lie they told. So why would you lie? You just be you. So to come back to your question, allow yourself to be you. Is that just be you and say things as they are and don't a lie is sometimes works. I mean, I'm the last one to say no. We have the white lies, the gray lies, and then the very dark lies, but sometimes a lie is a good thing. But if you're you, if you can allow to be yourself, I mean, that's the best version you can have in your life, if it's up to me.
Yes, that's true. It sounds so easy, but it's really so complicated, because we are born with all our traits, all the best of ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
With our light, with our essence, with our confidence, with our curiosity, with our courage. But through life, we start putting layers and dimming that light that we were born with just in order to fit in. So Um, how do we really do that to take all those layers? And you say the body language is always honest. It's always um, telling the truth. So how do we really get to the be you according to our body and not pretending just to be accepted? Because right, that's what we do. We want to be accepted and to fit in and be likable. So how do we do that?
It's in fact very simple. It's a very simple answer to a long question. It's I spend a lot of time with people who are very fortunate, and last weekend, as I mentioned before, I spent in Dubai. I spent some time with royalties and stuff. But what I do realize is that when I talk for myself, for me, the older I get, the less I care about what people say, because
Yeah.
people are so loaded with all these, you know, they want to do this, they want to do that because of this. I can't do this, and because of that, the older I get, the less I care, and the less you care, the more simple it becomes. Life becomes so easy and simple when you don't pay attention to all these details and stuff, because there's so many details, so many rules, so many regulations, so many laws, so many. But the more you, how should I say, you have to take your responsibility. Don't get me wrong. There's the responsibilities, there's actions to take, and for sure. But the less you care about all the noise. I saw an interview with Elon Musk. He has 0% noise, 100% focus, the reason of his success. And what we allow sometimes as human beings, we allow the noise. And sometimes when you look at social media, I do ask myself, is it still real or is this just AI? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, an answer to your question is like, yeah, just be you and don't pay attention too much. Don't pay too much attention to the noise. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure you put some action to it, and then celebrate. That's
Oh,
my advice.
that's that's really nice because now the question is it real or it's AI? And before the question was, is it real or it is fake? No, because in social media they always show you how great everything is going, but and behind the scenes people are really struggling and not showing the honest. So is that's a very good advice in not paying so much attention to the noise. You know, um, I was born in a, I was raised in a place. I was very rebel since I was really small, a kid. So I was raised in a place that if I do it, why did I do it? And if I don't do it, why I didn't do it? So it's what you're saying. I just turn off the switch because it doesn't matter what I do. I'm never pleasing anybody. So I said, I need to please myself because I cannot please anybody else. So I'll go with my core, what I feel. So
Mm.
um, it's really true when we need to turn down a little bit the or a lot that noise that we have. And when you feel that noise, because sometimes you have it in the balconies and in the world and happening and doing and you deal with a lot of people also sometimes get really noisy. How do you come back to your core?
It's an amazing question and an amazing story as well that you shared, in the sense that, first of all, I'm so happy you're a rebel just like me, because it's only the rebels and the crazy people who change the world, isn't it? Let's
Yep.
be
Yep.
normal
Yep.
people don't change anything. It's
Yep.
only the rebels and the crazy ones.
Yeah.
But I always had a dream, a big dream, and it started when I was in school. I was bullied like crazy. People would destroy my pen bag. They would destroy my all kinds of things, and I would go crying back home, and didn't want to go to school in the morning because of the bullying. And they kept on going years in a row, years in a row.
Hmm.
Um, But what happened in when I turned 17 and a bit, I said, you know what? I'm going to prove myself to the world, and I'm going to become a Navy. And I applied, and I'm an extrovert, right? I have to share that with everybody, and lots of people gave me that negative shower. You're not going to make it. You are in a hotel school. You're going to become a certified chef. Who are you to join the Navy? And you're not good enough. You don't have the enough, Anyway, negativity, full on. And the only thing I could think about is watch me and I'll show you. And I'm going to keep it clean here, but I also added an F off.
Yes, I can understand. Yeah. It
And I
was
don't
like
go,
your trigger, right? Like your
yeah,
trigger is you cannot do it. No, I'll show you.
yeah. So what they
Mm-hmm.
do, they fuel me. And
Mm-hmm.
instead of breaking me down, they fueled me. That's how I put it in perspective in those days. And then I was in the Navy and I saw people with stars and stripes, and I said, wow, if they can, I can. I was a Marine, and all of a sudden I said, you know what, I'm gonna apply. And I couldn't hold my voice, and shared that with people and so on. But Renee, can't you be happy where you are? You're already there. Come on, man. I said, no. I said, well, you have to study, you have to do this, and this is not for you. And we all have these kind of people around us, right? And the only thing I could think about again was watch me, I'll show you, and
Mm-hmm.
the rest. And I applied and I got in and became an engineer in building bridges and roads and stuff, in the armed forces. And people said, wow, you are so lucky. And there's no luck attached to it. We all know that. It's hard work, it's studying. And I got there. And then one day I saw people jumping out of airplanes and I said, wait a minute, this is fun. I was like, you're 19, 20 years old. What do you want? You're full of fire. And I got home and I say, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna jump out of airplanes. And Renee, don't do that because they're gonna drop you in war zone. You're gonna get killed. You're gonna get. I said, yeah, yeah, whatever. I applied anyway and got in. And then I saw one day in a C-130. I don't know if you know anything about airplanes, but a C-130 Hercules is like a logistic aircraft where the back opens up. And I was sitting on my hiney watching the pilot because there's no doors in those planes. And I said, if he can, I can. And I went home and I told everybody, I'm going to become a pilot. And I said, yeah, whatever. And again, negativity. And I said, watch me and I'll show you an F off. And I applied and I got in. And people say, you are so lucky. I said, there's no luck attached to it. And my message towards people who are listening and watching this is that if you have a big dream, just follow through. And keep dreaming and keep praying and keep meditating for it, and keep asking, let's say, the universe, right? And said there was Steve Harvey said, you have not because you ask not. And but then you have to write it, anyway. That's a different story. And then I all of a sudden, my first book in 1995 was,
Envision it.
and vision it. Yeah, have a vision
Mm-hmm.
board and
Mm-hmm.
put it out there. My vision board is on my phone, is on my computer, is everywhere, right? I still have vision boards. I mean, although I'm 30 years in this business and I've been building quite a large business, but I'm still having a vision board. And the thing is, in 1995, I bought my very first book from Tony Robbins, from Anthony Robbins. It was called Notes from a Friend, a very tiny book. You can read it in less than 2 hours. And I was like, you know what? One day I'm going to work with him. And my surroundings, they said, Renee, is it never enough for you? I said, well, I don't know. It has nothing to do with having no that is enough or not enough. It's about, you build a dream, you build, you're active, you want to you know develop. And I got like so much negativity about it. Yeah, who do you know he's going to take make time for you, and he's a multi-millionaire, a billionaire in the US, and blah 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 blah. And in, I think, 2010 or something, I was invited by friends to go to one of his seminars, and I went in London. It was a 4-day seminar with Tony Robbins, and I went there, and the fire walk and all these things, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. I would really want to work with the guy. Now, they had a group called the Yes Group, which is following up and keeping the momentum from Tony Robbins high. and each month they come together in London, in Nottingham, in Birmingham, and also in Brussels. And I went to the Brussels one day, and it was a Portuguese guy, and we had an amazing chat, ending up with a question. You know, I was still a smoker at that time, and I quit smoking 12 years ago, by the way, or was it 14 years ago? I can't remember. Anyway, I lost count. And but the thing is, he says, your story about the armed forces, is this true? Can you prove it? And your story about this and your story about, is this true? I said, yeah. Can you prove this? I said, absolutely. He says, okay, I have an amazing opportunity for you. There's only 8 people on the planet who have that opportunity. We are now 7. If you want to, you can become, a member of our group. I said, what are you talking about? He says, I have one more question. How many years have you been smoking? But that day I didn't smoke. I didn't want people to smell I was. You can imagine, I mean, the attitude at that time.
Yes.
And anyway, and he was right. And I told him, I said, I says, well, you know, I said, but can you please share me what you have? He says, I can't because it's for non-smokers only. And I was, come on, man, seriously. And I knew he had something very special. I knew it. I felt it like in my bones. So that night, I drove home. And it was already 3 o'clock in the morning. I smoked like a chimney. I was so nervous. And it took me 3 months to take the decision. And 3 months later, I took the decision. I quit smoking. I picked up the phone. I said, his name is Ricardo Mendoza from Portugal. I said, Ricardo, man,
Mm-hmm.
I just let you know I quit smoking. What do you have? And he says, I don't believe you. I said, excuse me? I said, buddy, you have to listen to me very carefully now. When I take a decision, there's no way back. He says, okay, that's okay. So he says, you know what? I'm going to send you an email and look at the email. And if this is for you, let's reconnect. I said, okay, no worries. So he puts the phone down, and I didn't have the chance to ask him what he had. And I called him back, called him back, called him back. He didn't pick up his phone anymore. I said, man, come on, seriously. So it took him 14 days to send me that email. And the email subject was application personal bodyguard, Tony Robbins. In 1995, I said, one day I will collaborate with him. So it's so important to watch out what you put out there because sooner or
Oh,
later
yes.
it will happen, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Ask and
And
is given. And
exactly.
so be very careful with your words because you can ask for big things or you can ask for
Yeah.
tragedies too.
And
You're
I did that for
ask.
2 years. For 2 years in a row, I did that job. And 2 years in a row, where he went, we went. And the thing is, after 2 years, I said, I have to continue my businesses because I had a lot of work. And I went to him, I approached him and said, hey, listen, man, I really have to make some choices here, some decisions. And he understood. He says, thank you so much for your services, blah, blah, blah. We had a very good conversation. And I went on. And then I was asked to represent him all over the planet doing preview sessions for his seminars. And obviously, I said yes. And that was the beginning of an amazing career, not only related to Tony, but also for myself. People started asking about my body language courses and training. So that is, you never know how things can turn around for you along the line, in your life. And as deep as you can go, as high you will fly. That's what I say all the time. It's okay to
Yes.
go deep, but then do know that one day you'll get out of it, but you have to do the job for sure, right? I had 10 pounds in my 10 British pound, great British, pound sterling,
Yeah.
10,
Mm-hmm.
which is nothing. And I had to take a decision. Do I put food in my mouth or do I put fuel in my car? And we all went through that,
Yeah.
I guess. And
Yes, but people see you at the end, no, in your vision.
yeah,
They don't see all. They don't see. Let's say that in Spanish we say that the grass of of your neighbor is always greener, right? We say it in English too. But they don't see the work to take to put water and to cut it and to take all the weeds out and the work that you had to do and all the people that you had to um, put apart and shut the noise, as we said at the
yeah,
beginning, of that you cannot do it. um, I learned in a very difficult situation that I had that I had to go through court, that people usually tell you that they're talking about themselves. They're not talking about you. It's like, oh, I cannot do that. I don't dare to do that. Right? It's because they are afraid. So they don't want you to do it because then they mirror themselves what I am not. Not what you are, but what they see is what they're not. So that's all the noise that you keep
Yeah.
listening to yourself
That's why
and
what you say is so correct. The noise, right? But the less noise you allow, the faster you go forward.
yes, because you only see your path, you don't see all the chains that are holding you back, no. Because all those voices is the self, it seeds in your head self doubt. It is in your head, am I correct? I'm not like others. What is happening? Am I weird? I am crazy. At the beginning, by the way, the word crazy that you said at the beginning that you were called when you were bullied is um, I was bullied also like crazy. She needs to go be in the hospital, in the psychiatric hospital. She when
Yeah.
what she said, until I understood that the craziness is my greatness,
Your
right?
power. Yeah.
Is my power. What does crazy mean really? So I translated every time that they said yes, because you're crazy. I said, oh, thank you that I'm crazy. It means
Yeah.
that I'm there to do things that everybody wants to do and nobody dares. So that's because I'm crazy, out of the box to go beyond the limit. That's what you call it courage. No, I don't know. In the unstoppable courage, that's what you mean.
Yeah. Well, the Unstoppable Courage was a co-author. I call that. I was a co-author in the book, where I share my story, and it's about being unstoppable. Just keep going, and if people don't like you, well, that's their problem, not yours. Whatever people think about you, that's what I always say. What people think about you is none of your business. Period. If you want to go there, if you're going to go somewhere like from A to B, focus on B, and you're gonna get a lot of noise. I had in my life a lot of noise, a lot of negativity, a lot of narcissistic people, but the less I listen and the more I said, excuse me, but I really don't have time right now. Can we reschedule? We never reschedule, by the way. And because I don't want to, the people you surround yourself with on a daily basis is so important to pay attention to that. I mean, I was in I mentioned in Dubai last weekend. I surrounded myself with like people from Abu Dhabi, from Dubai, but all people who went into study a DBA, studying PhDs, and when you surround yourself with these people, there's a complete different story. People that respect you, they invite you, and you do the same, obviously, because you're on the same level, and you speak a different language, and that is the next level. And to be frankly honest with you, everybody can get there. If I can, everybody can. But you just have
And
to do it.
it's just feeding your soul, right? It's like enhancing your energy all the time. They say that people that pulls you down is people that are down. Usually people that are above you or next to you, they cannot pull you down because they are next to you or above you. So there's only the criticism to pull you down is people that are really down and really want to be like you. And that's what they saying, no? It's like, I'm pulling you down because I don't want to see myself down and you up. So you need to be down with me in the same hole. You cannot be above. And it's um, how how do you allow yourself, or did you allow yourself to trust? How do you know how to trust if you have so much negativity around you and so much um, people trying to hold you back? And you go anyway, right? You go anyway. Whatever it happens, happens, right? But how do you allow yourself to trust? How do you
Um,
trust?
First of all, you have gut feeling, and your gut feeling already is a
Mm,
signal that says my subconscious mind is absorbing signals. And when my subconscious mind is absorbing signals that are not really congruent with the conversation in terms of the body language, and that's for people who don't know nothing about body language, it is your gut feeling, is that subconscious mind absorbing certain body language which is different than the verbal language. So there's no congruency.
mhm.
But your subconscious mind is absorbing that, and that's giving signals to your stomach like, I don't know what it is, but something is wrong here. That's your subconscious and your gut feeling. However, when you start learning how body language works, and you start understanding that when you ask somebody a question, the eyes will go in a certain way, left or right, okay, up or down or whatever. If you can like see these signals or absorb these signals, how people react when you ask them a question, an emotional question, a rational question, how do they react? Where are the eyes going? What are the hands doing? What are the feet doing? And the feet, and a lot of people don't know that, the feet are the most important parts of the body. And the reason why is that they are the furthest away from the brain, so the less controllable. So the feet will tell you far more than all the rest.
Wow, interesting.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yes, very interesting. It
So what I
yeah.
will do, I will look when I ask an emotional question, I will look with my left eye in people's left eye. So I connect the right brain with the right brain. So the quality of the conversation will be far more higher. If I have a rational question, I will connect the right eye. I will look with my right eye into your right eye. In other words, connect the left brain with the left brain, the rational brain. The outcome of the conversation, the quality of the conversation will be far more higher. But when I ask you that question and you look in a complete different way you shouldn't be looking, for me, that's a red flag. And if I have too many red flags, you're lying to me. This is a way of, so how do you build trust? To come back to your question, how can you build trust? How can you trust somebody? First of all, you trust them anyway. But when I get the gut feeling like, uh-oh, something is like doesn't match, then I really start 100% reading body language. That's why it's so important to, and depending on the person you're speaking to, you let them know or you don't let them know. Okay. I got people and they were lying constantly to me. And I said, I'm not going to let them know. I'm just going to let them do their thing, but they're not going to be a business partner whatsoever. When, when you lie to somebody in the first place, why on earth would you do that? If people can't handle your truth, you're talking to the wrong people, right? So how do you build trust? By saying the things as they are. And if people can't handle it, they're not meant to be connected with you.
Oh,
And that's
it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It means
no.
because usually people it translate that to I'm wrong. I did something wrong. I said
Mhm.
something instead of saying, "Oh, I should not be connected to this person," right? But is so embodied the disease to please in the culture that it's like I'm the one who's wrong. What did I say? What did I do wrong? Instead of okay, I will trust my gut. I'll trust my intuition. This is not for me. And one of the questions that a lot of people ask when you say there is something, it doesn't smell good, right? It says it doesn't smell good. There is something,
Yeah.
and they do like this with the hands. There is something in the air that, oh, you're a witch. Well, you always thinking bad. How can? Okay, I know, but because I know, and I remember my teenagers' daughters asking me, but how do you know? I don't know. It
Yeah.
smells.
It's your gut
But how
feeling.
do you
Yeah.
know? But
Yeah.
when they were at the teenager age, that was the question all the time, right? How do you know? Just trust your guts. If they say no, if you don't feel like going and there is too much resistance, it's a no. It's a no.
Yeah.
And when in doubt, don't. No, that's a
True.
saying of my
True. True.
husband.
True.
If you're
True.
in
True.
doubt, don't. Yeah, it's very interesting, because and now I understand some sayings of my husband having this conversation because he says a lot. I can trust him. I read his body language. I know what he says. I said, but you cannot trust one person from the first time. He says, yes, I can. And I
Mm-hmm,
always
mm-hmm.
say, but you're endorsing your whole checkbook. Just endorse one check, then you check another one and another one, right? It's because I experience also that I've been burned so much many times that I started no. So that's why I ask you the
Mm.
question of how how do you trust, and it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so to all the audience, it means you need to find Rene. You need to buy his book that he's is the body language book, so you can really
Over there.
understand and read. Yeah, it's called the body language. Yeah, see, the body language, the ultimate guide to body language. Yes. So,
Yeah.
with so really, really, really nice to learn about it, about the feet. I knew about how you position it if you're about to leave or you're engaging in the conversation. It depends on how your feet are, if they are inside or they're outside, so really, I will check about that
Yeah.
again. So start
Yeah.
paying attention. I used to pay attention how people walk, right? If with confidence or just like that, or just moving side to side. Yeah. So
There's a couple of things I would like, I mean, to say, for example, the best moderators are the people who ask questions. And when to come back to your question about trust, I will ask a lot of questions to people. And I would always ask the six W's and H. Why, what, where, when, who, which, and how. And why is that? If you ask an open question that starts with those words, they have to come up with a story. And in that story, I listen and I get so much information, and I can listen to them. I can define if they're lying, yes or no. I can prepare my next question. I'm giving them significance because they can do the talking, and there's a lot of reasons why I do that. But when you start asking questions as a moderator, if you're in a business, I mean, I've last couple of weeks I was traveling all over the planet and having meeting different people. I always ask questions. And there was one lady, she says, "Hey man, you asking a lot of questions." I said, "Well, I'm super interested in you as a person. Is it allowed for me to ask you one more question?" And I asked another 10 questions. So, but I had so much information, and it is so important to ask questions. I was in with the Dalai Lama in I saw an interview with the Dalai Lama, and I was there as well with the Dalai Lama, and I was invited there. And the interviewer asked a question to the Dalai Lama, and he started laughing. And the interviewer says, "Why are you laughing?" He says, "You are asking me questions. You already know the answer, but you want to hear it out of my mouth. That's why I'm laughing. I'm not going to answer your question. So be well prepared with the questions you ask as well." So, but if you want to really create a valuable, high value network of people, pay attention who you surround yourself with on a daily basis. I learned from Tony Robbins, for example. He said that in Date with Destiny, one of his seminars, he says there are six different relationships on this planet. You know, there's a relationship full with love and passion, filled with love and passion, right? The second one is a lot of passion but less love. The third one is a lot of love but less passion. Number four is the one who is preparing their escape in the relationship. Number five is looking for a relationship, and number six is the one that says a relationship. Thank you, been there, done that. Six different relationships. But if you are having a relationship filled with love and passion in your life, and you surround yourself with a person that is preparing their escape in the relationship, that is a dangerous situation because you might start asking yourself questions and preparing your escape. in your relationship because you are influenced by that person. And the other way around, the person that is preparing their escape might be influenced by your relationship filled with love and passion. So it's a two-way thing, but there's a thing to pay attention to. Long story short, who are you surrounding yourself with on a daily basis will make you or break you. It's as simple as that. And that's what I learned in my life. I had to get rid of a lot of people in my life, and thank God I did. It's a story of Tyler Perry. You ever heard about Tyler Perry? He's a film producer.
Mm-hmm.
And one day he said, some people are like rocket boosters. So the rocket that goes to the moon lifts off, and there's rocket boosters. But at a certain altitude, these boosters fall off. They're not longer necessary. And some people are like rocket boosters. They're in your life for a season, but not forever. They're not meant to go where you go. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with these people. They're not meant to go where you go, and they fall off. And I mean, you had the experience. I had the experience. People who fall off in your life, you don't see them anymore. You don't hear them anymore, and they were good people. But it's I will come back to the same thing all the time. Is like, watch out who you surround yourself with, because that's who you become. And that's, yeah, these are choices.
And why those people were there, they were also teaching you a lesson, no? Is what do
True.
I need to learn? And okay, our path together, I learned the lesson, then you go your way, I'm going my way because we're going different ways. Some people even get mad when they have to leave. They live by themselves, right? But they have to live because, oh, you're so weird, you're not doing this anymore, you're not reading the same kind of book I'm reading. No, I'm done with this. I mean, I changed my path. I'm next step. Like um, Steve Jobs used to say that we can connect the dots only looking backwards. We cannot connect the dots looking forward.
Mm,
It's like why we had these people in our lives. Why did we do the things we did? Why you went to the Navy and went to the chef and went to everything um, taught you different things that you are the person that you are now. And sometimes we ask ourselves, oh, if I wouldn't do this, I would be in a different place. You don't know because you are where you're supposed to be and you did
yeah,
that and you I I I got lately to the conclusion that don't take I'm not wrong with any decision I make because when I make the decision it's the best decision. I don't I won't make a decision that I think is bad for me. I will make a decision that at this time with the tools that I have in the moment that I'm taking the best decision. Maybe
yeah,
in 2 year time I will say, oh, I would do something different if I would have the knowledge that I have today to go back then because but I took the decision to go that path. So
yeah.
is the rockets, that's where I come from the conversation, the people that just push you up and some are that you need to release those rockets fast because they are too heavy on you for you to
True,
go
true,
forward.
true, true. And what
Yeah.
people don't know, a lot of people don't know that I was a single dad for 15 years with three daughters. 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So if people think, well, it's easy for you to say, well, guess what? I had a backpack with my issues and challenges in life as well, just like anybody else, you know. And people say, well, success is easy for you. No, it's hard work. It's taking decisions, sometimes decisions you don't want to take, but you have to take them. And being a single dad with three daughters, they were at that time they were 2, 4, and 6. Due to circumstances, I became a single dad with them, and I raised them from 246 to 17, 19, 21. So when people say, "Well, you don't know my problems," well, everybody has problems. I had my problems. You have your problems. Everybody has problems. It's and changes daily. But what I do know, developing yourself is a choice, and that is something we all have that choice.
Yeah. One of
We
the
all
things
have
that
that
I
choice.
say all the time, and this is like my mantra, is like, uh, Life is not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you, because you always have a choice. You can be poor me, or you can say, oh, yeah, let's see. Now, how you say it? Watch me, I'll show you, right? That's how you say
Yeah.
it.
And
Watch me,
life is
I'll
not
show
happening
you.
for life is not happening to you, it's happening for you.
For
Whatever
you.
happens for you. And watch me, I'll
Yeah.
show you, and yeah, F off.
Yeah, I remember being like that rebel, okay,
Yeah,
in when I was a teenager. Oh no, you think I cannot do it? We'll see.
exactly. And it's
But
only the
it's like
crazy.
we'll see. It's like that. It's like putting really fire, fuel, and everything in your body. So I'll find a way to do it. You
Yeah,
say I cannot do it. I'll find a way. There is always a way. There is always a way. It
true.
depends if you're looking for it or not. Um, the first chapter of my book, I don't know if you know, flip it over, is
I saw it, yeah.
it's called Starting from the End. And
Oh
it's
wow.
that and the you read it backwards also, but it says starting from the end. And what do I mean is that you have to have the vision. Where are you going? What do you want? You really want that? So if you really want that, you'll find a way to do it.
True.
Epcot says if you can dream it, you can do it. If you can have it in your mind, you can do it.
Yeah.
So it has been such an amazing pleasure talking to you. And one of the questions I like to ask, if you would go back in time and you can whisper your teenager, what would you advise him?
Listen less to people and go fully forward. Don't care what
Oh,
people say to you. Just go for it.
go for it. Don't
Yeah.
just turn off your noise. Go for
Turn off the
it.
noise and go for it, and don't listen to people. Good advice, bad advice, whatever advice. Analyze it, listen to it, analyze it, and then take a decision. But go full forward. And I think I wasted a bit of my time listening to people taking different decisions. But then again, it happened for me, not to me, for some reasons probably. But I would go far more faster than I did go. Yeah, that's advice for people. Listen, don't listen to the noise. Just go fully forward and make as much mistakes as you can. When making a lot of mistakes, that's when you learn. When you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. It's the same in economy. Let's go back to COVID. Okay, in COVID, so many people invented so many beautiful things. But when all goes well, nobody is doing nothing because it goes well. Economy is good, everything is good. Why should I put efforts to it? But then something happens, and then they go, "Oh my god!" And then they start inventing all kinds of things. So I would say, yeah, just go for it. Go, keep dreaming, keep planning, keep executing. We have to put action to it as well, and don't listen. If you would ask me for one sentence, don't listen to the noise.
Don't listen to the noise.
No,
Yes, I agree with you. And I will add, differentiate what's noise and what's sound. Because when you ask questions, you have to listen to the answers. But that's not noise. Noise is the
no,
toot, 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 it's from balcony and whatever. So it just have, it's not sound, is noise. So you learn to differentiate that part. So
mm,
what do you say? Anything else you want to say? I'm so glad this conversation, it's so engaging, so it brings so much knowledge, and I really thank you for sharing not only your wisdom but your heart, opening um, that vulnerability and that
mm,
empathy and that honesty, and just for
mm.
yeah.
Yeah, and being open is, for example, I was baptized. I was a Christian. I used to be Christian, and I'm probably still are. I don't know, but was the way it went when we were kids. But then I went to Buddhist temples, I went to Hindu temples, I went to mosques, I went to all of these different areas in life, and I learned so much from these people, just by being open and listening. Is that life is so simple. It's people who complicate the whole thing. And the older you get, I mean, I'm 27.
I'm
uh,
36. And I'm
but
36. My mom used to flip the age also, but
oh yeah,
before 5. So I'm 63, so I'm 36, right?
36.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but the older you get, the less you listen to noise, and that's what makes life so much easier. So yeah, but yeah, and if people want to connect, I mean, through you or directly, I mean, that's people are more than welcome. Just yeah, the only thing I can say, go for it, go fully forward, don't wait upon anybody, and don't listen to the noise, and yeah, that's it. And be humble. Humbleness has been an amazing factor in my life, because the more humble you are, the more doors that will open up for you.
Can you please describe what's humbleness for you?
For
What does
example,
that
okay,
word mean?
for example, when I was in Dubai, I was with a couple of sheikhs and stuff, and we were in the Versace hotel, and there was a waiter at the door, and the only thing he had to do as a job was opening up the door. That's all. And so we approached the door. He's opening up the door, and I said to him, "Thank you, sir." And he was much younger than me, but the way he looked at me, his eyes lit up like, "Wow, he's calling me sir." Being humble is being respectful, is being, somebody serves you coffee. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Appreciate that. Being humble and being respectful of people, and that will open so many doors for you. And but you don't, please don't fake it, right? Be honest, and be, let let let's come it from the heart. Let's come it from let's when you say thank you, sir, thank you, ma'am, make sure it comes from the heart. And that is so amazing when you can do that, when you see people smile at you, like, wow, they're calling me sir or ma'am, or but
Yeah,
also,
he saw
yeah,
me. He
yeah.
saw me, right? He saw me.
In the
Yeah.
airplane, there was an
Very
elderly
nice.
lady. Yeah. In the
Very
airplane, there was an
nice
elderly
definition,
lady,
right?
and yeah, she had to have her luggage out of the compartment in the airplane. And an elderly lady, she was, yeah, walking with a stick and stuff. I took it out for her and I gave it to her. And she says, "Oh, thank you so much, sir, ma'am. Pleasure from the heart." And she looked at me like, "Woo." But I don't do it for the woo, but I do it for, that's me. Being humble. That's what it means to me. Humble, help people, serve people, respect people, be polite to people.
We are, for me, humble is that I am not more or less than anybody else. We just
Yep.
have different circumstances and different points of view. It doesn't mean I am more than anybody if I have or not have, and even if I know more, it doesn't mean that I'm more than the other person. Is we are at the same level with different circumstances, and it means different perspectives. That's all.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I'm right or he's wrong or he's right and I'm wrong. It's different
Mm.
point of view, different perspectives. That reminds me, Fred Kaufman, the COO of LinkedIn, the former COO. He used to say, there is in a joke, he used to say, there is 100% correlation between the smart people and the one that think like me, right? So he used to joke for that. Um, but
Yeah.
yes, it's the I agree with you, to be respectful, to see the other person, not because he's doing a job that I did before that I'm not doing now. It means that he's less than me, or he
Even
simply.
the people who cleaning the toilets in the airport. I mean, I fly a lot. In the airport, there was a man cleaning, and he was opening up the door for me, and I say, "Thank you, sir." It doesn't. It's not because he's cleaning the toilets. I shouldn't say sir to him. That
Yeah.
is out of respect it's yeah, it's but when you do that, it creates, it has nothing to do with when I do that, well, will come back to me. No, it has to do with you create a vibration and an energy on a certain frequency. And what happens when you are humble and respectful, automatically in the universe, it will come back to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And today, more than ever, I have a lot of people that I talk to, and they're very humble and very like respectful towards me as well. It's what you send out is what comes back to you, right? It's the same in body language. I mean, what I explain in my seminars, maybe I can share you this, is that there's two brains, right? You have the
Mm-hmm.
conscious and the subconscious, and then you have the subconscious and the subconscious of the other person. So person A says to person B something in verbal and non-verbal. So what you say verbally transfers 40 bits of data per second. This is science. So when I speak to you, I transfer 40 bits of data per second. The subconscious absorbs the nonverbal communication, which is body language and tonality. So your tonality is 37%, your body language 55%. The total is 93%. So verbal is only 7%. That's why it's being said that the subconscious will transfer tonality and body language towards the subconscious of that other person in terms of 40 million bits of data per second instead of 40 bits. But now that information gets into the conscious and subconscious of that other person, will be processed and then come back to you with a response or a statement or a question. So that's why it's being said that the outside world is in fact a reflection of yourself, because what you put out there will come back to you, if that makes sense.
Yes, makes a lot of sense. Yes, makes a lot of sense. So you have to be aware, not aware, but you have to um, be true to yourself and true to others, because that's what you're transmitting. I used to say um, to my kids, and now it comes back to me and as a rewinding. I used to say, it's not what you say, it's what you transmit. Two different things.
True.
So you can be quiet and you're transmitting a lot more than if you were talking. So
Yeah.
because silence is also an answer.
It's the
So,
same for single people. If there's single people out there watching this, pay attention to this one. When you are single and you want to attract somebody towards you, and that person, you want that person to be a certain person, write down, if you are a man or a woman, write down she or he is. For example, in my case, it would be she is a non-smoker. She's in love with homeopathics. She's in love with a healthy lifestyle. She's in love. Da, 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 da. So I wrote down 15 sentences. She is. So she already exists. Now, those 15 sentences, you start living like that yourself first. You start living like that. But because you start living like that, you send out that vibration and frequency, that vibration and energy on a certain frequency, you'll attract that person automatically. You don't have to wait for it. You don't have to search for it. Live it. You'll attract
oh,
it.
I can tell you my story. I can tell you my story. And now that
Uh-huh.
we're here, it's very interesting because after I divorced, every December we had the club of the divorced women, right? To ask for the guy that we wanted to come. What's the man we wanted? So we write 10 different characteristics, right? And as you say, live it through it. So I wrote likes the mountain, likes the beach, it's independent, likes to read, likes to go out, likes the sunset, likes the sunrises.
Mm.
I'm telling you, 3 months after, a house in the mountain, a house in the beach, owns a gym, loves to read. Every day at 5 o'clock, he goes out to see the sunset, and then he likes to walk on the beach to see the sunrise. I said, perfect. The only thing,
Wow.
the only thing is I was not specific enough. The universe sent me a gay guy. And
Oops. Yeah. Okay.
Oop, oops. Okay. So next December, how did I start the list? Okay, heterosexual, okay, sexual active, and
Okay.
all that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot some details that were really important for me. So if you are there and you really want to live to attract that person, write it down. I'm the
Yeah.
proof that it works. Uh, it really works because I was like that. I forget to write some things that I don't that my husband doesn't have it because I love dancing and I didn't write that dancing and he doesn't dance. So, but I have to
Yeah.
dance by
Okay.
myself. It's fine. It's fine that part. But yes, for single people that do it, really try it.
Yeah.
You really attracted. That's perfectly true.
Yeah.
But I
It's
I am the proof of it. So
yeah. But yeah, it's in communication is the most important thing in life. If you can communicate on a certain level, you'll have a complete different lifestyle, a different income, different friends, different, whatever you want to accomplish in life. Yeah, it's communication. It's all about communication. And if you think like I'm not gonna call that person, call the person. If you think I'm not gonna do prospection because I don't know that, do it. The moment you don't, the moment you feel like not doing it because do it. Go through the fear and go through. You will be surprised how many people that will cross your path and help you out. And that's what happened to me. I'm so grateful for all the people I met in my life, and I every day I say the same thing. I'm just getting started. Although I've been traveling all over the planet, did 43 countries already. No, no, 40. I know,
what about Costa Rica?
yeah, it's on the
You're in
list.
Belgium. Now you have a reason, not an excuse, a reason to come. Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely. But
yeah.
it's amazing the people I have been surrounded with and helped me out and showed me a way and I met so many beautiful people, so many beautiful souls
And
from
they come
across.
to you, right? You don't have to look for
Yeah,
them. It's your vibe. Is what you
or
are
backstage
attracting.
with I had such an amazing conversation, for example, with Brian Tracy a couple of years ago. How do I end up? I don't there backstage. I don't know. I was a speaker myself on the same stage, but how do you get there? I don't know. Is you ask not, you have not because you ask not. Um, I was with like I mentioned the Dalai Lama, for example. In 2002, my dad died. And at that moment, I said to him, listen, I'm going to accomplish all my dreams. I don't know how, but I'm going to accomplish all of my dreams in my life, and I'll see you on the other side. And then I left. And one of the things was I wanted to meet the Dalai Lama. I wanted to meet him, period, because I love, the way I'm not a Buddhist, but I love the way they speak and so, and there's other religions with beautiful things as well. And I started praying and meditating you know, and nothing happened. And after 2 years of that, I said, you know what, I'm done. And one of the questions was, I want to meet him, and I want to meet him in Belgium,
Hmm.
talking about being choosy. And so after 2 years in 2004, I stopped praying and meditating about it. I said, you know what, if it happens, amazing. If it doesn't, amazing. There's always a reason why things are happening and not happening. And I left the whole thing. I said, you know what, let's see what happens. 2 years later, and my daughters didn't know what I was thinking and praying and meditating for. They did not know about it. 2 years later, in 2006, one of my daughters is approaching me during Father's Day, and she says, "Dad, happy Father's Day," and kiss, kiss, kiss. And she has, I got a little present for you. And she gives me an envelope. She hands over an envelope, and guess what's in the envelope? Two tickets for a meet and greet with the Dalai Lama in Belgium. Hello, watch
Ask,
out what you ask for.
ask and is given. Yes.
Ask and you shall be given. Absolutely. But you have to do the work. You have to, follow certain principles of life. And I
And
can talk
be
about.
and be
Mhm.
aware. One of the things that I say, be aware of the stories you're telling yourself. Because if you tell yourself, like as Henry Ford said, if you tell yourself you can't, you can't. If you tell
Oh, you're
yourself you
always right.
can, you can.
Whatever
You're
you think,
always
you're always
right.
right.
You're
It's how
always
you,
right.
yeah, it's how you wire your brain. That's what's gonna happen. I mean, I dreamt years of going to Australia. I ended up getting stuck in Australia. I asked for it, and I was given it during COVID. I left in February, and there was no airplanes coming back, so I got stuck for 5 months in Australia, in Victoria, in Melbourne. I was like, no, I had a great time. Don't get me wrong; it was an amazing time.
Yeah, but be careful what you
There's,
ask for. That's it.
yeah,
That you got it. You were not specific when you ask. You have to be specific. So you have
yeah,
a heterosexual boyfriend. Yeah, no,
yeah,
like me. You have to be specific what you're asking. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
in one word, what are you taking from this conversation?
First of all, we never met before, and it's a very, very beautiful conversation. I really like the energy, the vibe. Um, this conversation for me is I have only one goal, and is to if I can help out one person out of 8 billion people on the planet, if I can help one person because they have listened to this and they're changing their lives, I think you and I succeeded with this Zoom call. And for me, that's what I take away from it. Each Zoom call for me that is getting out there is changing maybe somebody's life for the better, and that's what I hope for.
Amen,
Honestly.
amen. That's for me also the power of one, what I call it. One, it's enough.
Mm,
One each day, one each hour, whatever. One, the power of one to change one person that really something change and flip in their life. I'm thankful, and my word this will be grace. This is really done with a lot of grace. So,
yeah,
um,
I can feel it. I feel it. Yeah,
so the audience, remember that allow yourself is not a one-time thing. It's a process. It's a daily practice. So allow yourself to begin again. Allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to be humble. Allow yourself to be you, and especially allow yourself to be what you meant to be. So thank you very much, Rene.
well said.
If there's
Well said.
anything else that you want to add, if not, we can keep going, for long.
If people want to connect all over social, I'm all over social media. If you type in my name, what should I say? If you type in my name on Google, you can't miss me. And if I'm not on Google, it's because you have a problem with your Wi-Fi. Um,
Oh, you spelled
just
wrong. It's Rene, D
Rene
E,
Deceuninck.
like unique, but unique,
The
I
Koenig
think.
is I
Yeah.
don't know if it's over.
Yeah.
Oh, here on the book you
Yeah.
can see it on the book here. René Deceuninck.
Yeah. Deceuninck. I'll
Yeah,
spell it for those that are listening. Deceuninck. International body language expert.
yeah.
Buy the
So
book, connect with him, and
it's on
really,
Amazon. So if we buy it within 24 hours, it's on the front doors. So it's on Amazon.
it's on Amazon. So,
Yeah. But if they go to the
body
website,
language.
it's also renedekoning.com. If they go there, there's a lot of information available. And if you click on the three things there, you got like 10 different languages. You read it in Portuguese, in Arabic, in Persian, in whatever you want, in Urdu. So yeah. Anyway,
Was really nice meeting you, and let's be in touch and
absolutely. I
have
look
a
forward to that.
nice day.